Hello, I'm Jeanne Petit. I'm a financial professional and I'm especially known to take the complex topic of financial education, how to make money, how to save money, and how to save on taxes, and I make it easy for my clients. I get so much satisfaction in seeing my clients able to make their own financial choices based on the financial education and information that we provide. So today I'm going to share with you some of these concepts that have to do with financial education. And that's, of course, something that has to do with money, right? Finances is all about money in some shape or form. And I'm going to tell you why this is so important. We all receive a variety of gifts. Some of those gifts are intellectual, some are physical, and some are financial. But we have to steward those gifts well if we want to benefit from what we are given. So if we steward our money well, we will see a lot of great things. We will see our money grow and we will benefit in the long run. So I'm very excited to share with you this concept. This is something that I learned right around the pandemic. That's when I started to increase my knowledge, and really, this changed my life. And so today, in this position of financial professional, I'm constantly meeting new people and educating them, assisting them, and getting them from lack of knowledge or the unknown into what is familiar and helpful. So we're going to talk about the money cycle, the life cycle of money, in other words. Did you guys know that there was a life cycle to money? Yes, there is. Money comes in, it goes somewhere, it's utilized, and then it goes out. But what we're going to see today is how we normally and generally utilize money. So as you can see, all of us work and we get some income. The majority of us, we grow up, we go to school, we get a degree, and then we start working. Well, generally, 50% of what we make goes to our cost of living. That cost of living is what? Maybe for your rent or your expenses, your car, gas, food, etc. Another 25% of that money generally goes to some type of debt, whether it's student loan, consumer loan, you got it, it's debt. And another 25% of that goes to Uncle Sam, whether it's taxes on the things you buy or income tax, we're paying taxes. So what do you see here? 50 plus 25 and 25, generally, it's 100%. So most of our money is really going towards paying bills, paying debt, and paying taxes. But what about savings? Where is our savings in this equation, right? First time I saw this chart, I was kind of concerned. I said, oh my God, they only have a line for savings. But look at what we can do. What if we can take some of the taxes that you're paying, right? Maybe there's some way that we could chop off the taxes we pay. Maybe there's a way that we can reduce debt. And that can create a very powerful funnel where we can start to save our money. We like the sound of that. So we're going to show you some more information, and this is some of the financial foundation that may help you to go towards financial freedom. The first thing is to understand that we get income. Money comes in. Either you work for money, what we call active income, or you get passive income. Now, active income, if we look at that closely, is really about income that you receive when you're working. You go to work, you get money. You don't work, you don't get money. And then there's passive income. Passive income is when you make money without actively participating in it. So that can be an investment, that can be having your money in savings, that can be a number of things. So the idea is to have many streams of passive income so that if one or two of those streams are not really working, you still have other streams of income. So, in other words, it's your money working for you as opposed to you working for your money. Do you like that concept? I think you do. So, as time goes by, you know that your passive income is going to help increase your wealth. So, there are some financial solutions that can help us to increase our income, our passive income, and build wealth. Of course, you can always have a financial solution of putting your money to the bank, right? You go to work, you make money, you save maybe 10, 20%, and you put it at the bank. Nothing wrong with that. Your money's safe there. But one thing is that the bank does not provide much growth opportunity for your money. The interest is pretty low. All right. So let's look now at investment, right? That gets us all excited, right? Knowing the best investment. Investment is great because it can bring high yields of income, right? High percentage rates, high return. We love that. But what can also happen is that we also can experience loss. And sometimes it's a lot of loss, especially if you're not familiar or you're not yet experienced in investments. So imagine if you can remove the risk that you have at the bank, which is not enough growth, and remove the risk of losing large sums of money from investment, and you can create a customized financial strategy. And that customized financial strategy can take into account that your money grows, that your money's safe, that it is tax advantage, and that it does provide you with protection. Wow. I like that customized financial strategy. How about you? So, our money growing is part of that passive income. So we learned all of this through financial education, right? Through the simple concept of how money works. Of course, mentorship is also there, and I work with a team, and I have mentors and leaders that are involved in my financial education growth and have helped me to become the success that I am today. So that savings, we start with that. Finding ways, of course, legal ways of reducing taxes, reducing debt, increasing your knowledge of the life cycle of money, making sure that you not only have active income, if that's what you choose to do, but making sure that you have passive income, right? For the long haul. The financial solutions are there, but do you know about them? Do you know where to find a product that can provide you with all these advantages? But you can do that through financial education, and that's why I'm here. So, as a financial professional, we utilize these concepts because we want to remove the fear of understanding how to manage our money, where to put our money, how to take advantage of the system and the products that are already there. There's one more thing that I wanted to share with you in terms of financial education, and that is how to build a financial foundation. I don't know if you've ever heard of financial foundation, right? What's the first thing that comes to mind? Some people might think of a trust fund, right? Or some people might think that a financial foundation is achieved by reducing debt. Whatever what is in your mind, you most likely have some level of reason, right? You must be right. So, financial foundation is a concept where we make sure that we have the right type of protection. Protection. Has anyone ever spoke to you about having the right protection in terms of your life, your health, your disability, or your income? A lot of people don't discuss this concept of protecting your ability to produce. You wake up every day, you get ready, you utilize your intellect, your two hands, and all the good things that the Lord has given you so that you can go out there and make a living, right? And get an income. But what happens if your production unit, yourself, is not protected. So that's the first thing that we go over with our clients, making sure that you have the right protection for your life, your health, make sure that you're protected in case of disability, and protect your income as well. Protecting your assets and making sure that you have enough in case of a long-term care health event. So these are basic. That's the best way to start. So we also have a look at debt management. We can give people the tools they need to quickly and easily start towards reversing the damage of high interest rate on their payments. Debt management is key to building a financial foundation that is firm. Then you have your emergency fund. How many of us would like to have 3 to 6 months of income or 3 to 6 months of at least the expenses that we have covered? That's very important because emergencies happen all the time. And guess what? An emergency fund is not just there for emergencies. If you don't have an emergency, well, you let your fund grow. We're not here to bring any negative vibes, but we know that if you fail to plan, it's like you plan to fail. So we don't want to go that route. And finally, in our little chart here, we have the topic of investment. I know most people want to invest first, but your foundation can easily be toppled if you don't have your protection in place, if you've not managed your debt and emergency fund established, and then you run straight to investment. So this scenario is something that we all may have known someone to experience, right? So this is an unstable foundation, and we want to avoid that. So let's start with the correct financial concepts, the right financial education, and we can provide you with access to those financial solutions that can help you achieve your goals. Remember, financial doesn't have to be complicated. We don't want you to feel like this is not a topic for you. But we want you to feel empowered and ready to make the choices that are right for you and your family. The more you know, the more that you can change your own life. So thank you again. I'm Jeanne Petit, and you can certainly scan this barcode, connect with me, and see how we can help you to either enhance whatever you have or build that financial foundation right away. Thank you so much, and we hope to see you here again on this platform. Thank you.